IPO process, that is individual purchase order. Okay, so why companies go for individual purchase order? Okay, and what is an individual purchase order? Okay, so third party, we know the process. What is the third party process? Customer will place an order to company, and company will raise PR and PO to the vendor, and vendor deliver the goods to the customer. So this is the third party process. So there is a risk here. Okay, so in third party process there is a risk. Okay, what kind of risk we have in third party? That is losing customers. Okay, how you lose the customers? Suppose say, let's say this customer is an Apollo Hospitals, and the company what it is here, it is Dr. Reddy's, and the vendor say suppose Hetero Pharma, a small pharma company. Okay, Apollo, it's a big company. Every corporate company has their own spy teams. Okay, it's not a big deal for Apollo to know from where this goods is coming. Okay, so Apollo can easily know this goods is delivered by the Hetero but not by the Dr. Reddy's, and Dr. Reddy's is charging more. Actually, if I buy directly from the Hetero, the product will come for 1000 rupees, but Dr. Reddy's is charging 1300 rupees. That means 300 excess than this. If I can directly contact the Hetero and negotiate, he might give for 900 itself for Apollo as an institutional customer, right? So in third party, there is a risk in losing the customers, because customers can know the vendors and they can directly get in touch there and they can directly buy the products, ignoring or eliminating the companies. Okay, or the second reason why companies go for IPO process is, see, you might be knowing, let's take good day Kaju biscuits, right? And Sunfeast also Kaju biscuits. Okay, the manufacturer for both the companies is same. Say suppose XYZ company. Okay, generally what companies will do, they procure, you take Levi's, Pepe, or you take any jeans, it get manufactured here but they put their label. Okay, so if the manufacturer is ready to put the company's label, then they will go for third party process. That's fine. Why? Because what third vendor will do, he will put the company's label and he will deliver to the customer, so that the Apollo will not know about the Hetero. But when the Hetero, like say our XYZ company, tells that I will not put your packing, I will not do your packing, I'll deliver the products for you, but I will not do the packing, then what? There is no option. These companies has to procure the goods from this particular vendor. They need to do the packing of their own and they should deliver the products. See, in third party, we don't have any delivery from the company. Vendor is doing the direct delivery. But in IPO, vendor and customer will not have any relation. Vendor, okay, the delivery is done by the company itself. Okay, so let's see third party. Why we do third party? So different reasons. When we do third party, if vendor is not ready to do our packing, that's one reason. Or okay, so what company will do? Company will procure the goods and they'll do the repacking or packing and they'll deliver it to the customers. Okay. Okay, or in some cases risk of losing the customers because their identities can be known to the customer. So IPO process is like this. Customer will place an order to the company and a PR PO will be generated to the vendor, and you see there is no relationship between here vendor and customer. Vendor will deliver these goods to the company and vendor will raise the invoice to the company. Company will deliver the goods to customer, and with reference to the delivery they will raise the invoice to the customer. Okay, this is the IPO process. That means the product what we deliver to the customer, we don't manufacture it, but we procure it from vendor. Rest everything is a standard sales process. If you see this process, it's a standard OTC process. If you go to the schedule line of IPO process, which is CB, you'll find a movement type there, 601. In third party, you don't find movement type in CS, but in CB, you find a movement type 601. Okay, so this is the IPO process. Let's see the controls in the IPO process. So the process goes like this: order, purchase and purchase order, vendor, MyGo, delivery, invoice. Okay. Okay. IPO process, when we do MyGo, okay, in the IPO process we have two special stock indicators, right? Can anyone tell what is that special stock indicators we have in IPO? Two special stock indicators. One is in the item category, that is what is item category for this? TAB. In the TAB we have a special stock indicator E, and also in the requirement class KEB we have a special stock indicator E, and we already discussed this, what it controls and what it controls. That means when you procure the goods from vendor and you do MyGo, right, you capture the goods with MyGo when he delivers the product. Okay, so what this particular requirement class special stock indicator E controls, this will reserve these goods whatever you procured from the vendor against the sales order what customer has placed. And when you do a delivery to the customer, system will consider only this stock which is reserved already. This stock system will consider. That's what controlled with a special stock indicator E. In the IPO process, when we do MyGo, stock will be reserved to that particular sales order number against the particular sold to party. Okay. So how do you make this reserved? That is, when you upload the stock with the moment type 561, there will be option there, special stock. Activate that. The system will ask you which sales order. Enter the sales order number. So that in the MMBE, the stock will go and sit under on orders hand, on order stock or on our hand. There it will be sticking. Okay. So IPO, the sales order number and controls is in the KEB requirement class E. But when we do the delivery, we have a special stock indicator at the item category level, that is item category tab. So what system will do? Whenever you do delivery in the IPO process, system will consider only that stock what you reserved here. Okay. So that's what the requirement class, the special stock indicators control in the IPO process. So configuration, IPO, it's again a trading goods. So you need to create a new metal with Hava. Okay. And the item category determination happens like this. OR, BANS, BANC is the item category group. No usage, no higher item, which will help us to determine tab. In the tab item category, we have controls. Special stock indicator E and billing relevance is A. Billing relevance is A here, that is standard billing relevance. It's a delivery related billing. It's not an order related billing. Okay. It's a delivery. A third party is a order related billing. IPO is a delivery related billing. And we have schedule line CB for IPO process and order type NB, item category 0, moment type. This is what a very important thing in the interviews also they ask, what is the moment type for third party? So we know it, right? For third party we don't have a moment type, but IPO we will have a moment type 601. Why? Because company do the delivery, standard OTC. Company do the delivery to the customer. And we have item relevant for delivery and purchase requisition delivery scheduling. And this field is only activated for IPO process, even that we discussed. So once go back and just look into the schedule lines video so that you can get all these details back. Okay. So the next is account assignment category E, what this controls. That is whether to raise an accounting entry or not. Okay. And when we do MyGo, when system will not generate inventory accounting document in IPO process. In IPO process also system will not generate any inventory accounting document. Why? Because the goods you procured is automatically assigned. That means the cost incurred to procure that goods is already assigned to that particular sales order. Which, because why you are procuring these goods from vendor? Okay, why you are procuring these goods from here? Okay, so why you are procuring these goods from vendor? Because the reason is this sales order. If this sales order is not there, this goods also will not be there, right? So the cost incurred to procure these goods is assigned to this particular sales order. So the reason there is no accounting entry document generated. That's what the account assignment category E controls. Okay. It controls that there is no accounting entry document generates here. And purchase requisition delivery scheduling controls that all the information or the delivery and quantity information will be transferred from the order to the PR. And Requirement type. How requirement type determines into the sales order in the IPO process is item category plus MRP type, that is tab plus PD, and the scheduling category is, sorry, requirement class is KEB. KEB also we have special statement, IPO requirement. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and the next is in IPO system will check or ask for to assign the GL account for KOFK. Okay, here costing is there, right? Generally we go for KOFI, KOFI, which is without costing, CO module. But here what happens, we are procuring the goods, okay, and the cost is incurred. So here we have a CO module. So we'll go for a account determination type, that is KOFK in the real time. But here it's not possible to go for KOFK in the training purpose. Okay. So rest every process is same. Okay, creating a order, it will raise a PR, PO. Okay, and you need to do MyGo. Everything is same. And the checking rule for IPO is BE. That's important. Checking rule is BE. Yeah, that's it. That's it in the IPO. So only the controls is important. Why? Because some scenarios we cannot test in the system here. It's a, we need a lot of integration between MM for the MIGO and these all things. But okay, see, in the last session we discussed about PO, right? Well, how you raise a PO, that is ME 59, we'll go with 21N here, 21N, okay, ME 21N. So when you raise goods back to the vendor, when you return the goods back to the vendor, you need to raise a return PO. How you'll raise a return PO? What is the T code for return PO? So there is no specific T code for return PO. Let me show you how to maintain it is a return PO. I did not understand, Srini. What is MIGO? You're asking for the return PO? MIGO T code? No. MIGO is only to capture the goods, incoming goods. Okay. Return PO, you will be raising. Okay, let me open the return PO purchase order. I'll show you. Okay. When you are in this screen, this is the purchase order screen, right? And this is the header data, and this is the item data of the purchase data. Purchase, you see, item. Okay, you can see here I put this is the item data. Like say whatever we create, like say 10 material is living. Okay, this is the item data of a purchase order. Okay, so scroll to the right. Okay, when you scroll to the right, you will have a check indicator returns. Okay, you will have a returns. If you activate this in a purchase order, this item is a return item. This is how you raise a return PO. Okay, when you want to raise a return PO, it's the same T code, you go there, but for that particular item, you maintain this particular returns item. You activate this will become a return PO. That means this item is going to be returned to the vendor. Okay, so this is how you raise a return PO. These are returns. This is the header data, and this is the item data of this particular purchase order. So here you'll be giving the vendor details, then after purchase order number, XYZ, these all things. Okay, and see, to better understand this, what you can do is you can go to the config documents, what I shared, the what is those, the Maruti Udyog Limited config documents I have sent, right, the Word documents. In that you have lot of all the sales process, not lot of, all the sales process, third party, you have IPO, you have make to order, you have all the process. Okay, just go through that, browse through the screenshots so that you can be familiar how the items are entered and everything. Okay, so this is the IPO process and the controls in the IPO process. So requirement class checking rule for the IPO is BE. Okay, and the moment type for MIGO is 101. Just remember these things, it's very important, and these are the things which is going to be asked in interviews. As I told you, take a printout of the screens what I have shared earlier with you. Okay. So let's move on to the make to order process after the IPO process. Okay, make to order process. So what scenarios your company or your client will go for a make to order process? Okay. And it's very important. Coming to the IPO and SDO, you should know as an SD. Why? Because see, as I told you, it's an integration, right? Third party is an integration with SDMM, and third party is an integration, IPO is integration between SD and MM. So you should know what are the, when it's an integration, you should know what are the activities of SD and what are the activities of MM. Okay. So the transactions as an SD end user will do in third party is, he will create an order, he will create an invoice, that's it. The between everything, PR, PO, Myro, MyGo, everything is handled by the MM. Okay. And coming to the IPO, what's the transactions an SD consultant, SD end user will do is order, delivery and invoice. Why? Because in the IPO process we have a delivery, standard delivery. So that's done by the SD itself. Order, delivery, invoice, rest PR, PO, Myro, MyGo, everything will be done by the handled by the MM. Okay, these are the transactions you should identify. And if they ask you, okay, what's the integration between SD and MM? Okay, in third party, where the integration happens. Okay, so the integration happens between the third party, in the third party between the SD and MM is in the schedule line, that is the order type NB, item category 5 and account assignment category 1. Okay, so these are the integrations which happens between the SD and FI, because there an order will be converted to the PR and PO and item category details. So these all things. So here the actual integration happens. And if it's come to the IPO process, in the IPO, what's the integration between the SD and MM? Okay, it's the same again. Order type NB, item category 0 and account assignment category E. But two more things here which is called as requirement class. Requirement class KEB and special stock indicator E. Okay, why? Because requirement class special stock indicator E, you are reserving the goods to that particular sales order. Okay, sales order is again coming back to the SD module. Okay, so let's go on to the no Srini, no, I'm not showing anything on screen, I'm just giving telling you these things. Okay, so what all I just told you, it might be important in understanding the concept and presenting that in the interview or to your client or sometime tomorrow if they ask what is the integration or something. Okay, this is the areas where integration happens. Okay, let's move on to the make to order. So what's the make to order? In what scenarios your company go for make to order? Okay, see, make to order may not be with every project or every client. Okay, make to order is a process with only few companies, few products. Okay, okay, it may not be with every company and every product. Okay, so what companies use make to order? Okay, and what scenarios they go for make to order? That is, make to order is a process we start manufacturing only after customer has placed an order. Make to stock is we manufacture the product, keep it ready, as and when customer places an order, we sell it to customer. But make to order, we manufacture or we procure the raw material to manufacture only after customer placing an order, because every customer's order is with his own specifications, may not match with anyone else. When customer places an order, then only the company will start processing of manufacturing the finished goods. Okay, because the specifications of the product is not standard and every customer will place an order with his own specifications. Examples: heavy machinery like turbines, transformers, aircrafts. Okay, if Jet Airways order a flight from the Boeing, they will order it with their own customization, interiors and these all things. Okay, if Etihad orders, they will go with their own interiors and these all things. Okay, crane manufacturing, It's crane, it's not crane manufacturing, crane, okay. Different, every company has their own lifting capacity of cranes, so they'll go with transformers. Example companies are BHEL, BEML. These companies manufactures these make to order products. Rolls Royce, okay. So these all things. So the process in the make to order goes like this. So the process in the make to order goes like this. Customer will place an order to the company, that's the first thing. But we'll create an order with a dummy product. Why? Because that product is not there in the company. There is no standard product. So what will, but without a product in the incompletion log, without entering the material, system will not allow you to create an order, right? So what you will do is you will create an order with some dummy material. Okay. Along with this order, customer will also give his specifications and design. Okay. He will be giving all his specification and design, how he want that product. So once you have this order and once you have this particular design specification, what you will be doing is you will be sending these details to your CAD department in the company, the design department. So CAD department will develop the product and they'll develop the BOM. Why? Because this product is grouping of lot of different materials, right? So they'll develop the BOM. Okay. So once after this, then they will be sending these details to the sales guys, so that what you will do is you will replace this dummy product with this BOM material. Okay. After finalizing the BOM, what we will do? We will be replacing sales department, then they will be replacing that BOM material with this dummy material. So once after you get the dummy material, then you start the MRP. An MRP will be run and requirement transfer will be happen, run an MRP, and system will explore for the raw materials. If raw materials is there, they start production. If not there, it will raise a PO to the vendor and procure the raw material. So they'll start the production and goods is finished and they'll deliver to the customer and they'll invoice to the customer. This is how the process runs in the make to order. Okay. And be very specific and be very cautious when you are mentioning make to order in your resume for any project. Why? Because you are mentioning your particular client as Maruti or Tata and you put make to order. Absolutely wrong, right? Tata and Maruti doesn't have make to order process. They are only make to stock. Okay. So be very cautious when you mention make to order. Even though you don't mention make to order the product skill set, like roles and responsibilities, it's fine, but mention it in the skill set. SD skill set, mention make to order, but make to order, be very cautious when you are mentioning for any project. But say, suppose say you are working with some irrigation equipment manufacturing company. Yeah, you can have make to order irrigation manufacturing companies. Why? Because that particular product the company, so the client is ordering, that equipment is only for that particular like say his farm. Okay, he want for that. Okay. So or see, whenever you prepare your resume, you just cross check with me so that I can tell you whether make to order is applicable for that particular project or not. Okay. So this is make to order process, and let's see the controls in the make to order. So the process is the same, like what I just told you. It's a theory discussion here. So configurations for make to order, the item category group is 001 and you need to have strategy group. Okay, MRP3, you have a strategy group that is 20. Okay, so item category determination happens like this: OR item 0001, no usage, no higher level item category is TAK. In the item category TAK, we have a special stock indicator E. Okay. So special stock indicator E is applicable only for two item categories, that is TAK and TAB. TAB we already looked into, which is IPO. Okay. And here we have E. Okay. What this E controls? It's the same again. Okay. It's the same. That is, when you're delivering something to the customer in the make to order process, make to order, if you are delivering something to the customer, that should be delivered, that product should be only which is already reserved against the sales order, you should deliver. Why? Because a customer ordered for a transformer. That is for only that customer. The transformer will not be used for any other customer, right? So if you are delivering this transform, you are delivering the goods to the customer. You should deliver only this product which is reserved against this sales order. The schedule line is CP standard. Why? Because it has an MRP, deterministic MRP, right? So it has an MRP. We run the MRP. So it is CP. And requirement type is KE. And the requirement also has a strategic group here, 20. Okay, it's determined based on the strategic group 20. So you can see this under the PP module production, how this requirement class and it's maintained, account assignment category. You can see it under the requirement class under the PP configuration. So this is SD, MM and PP, FI, CO, all integration, make to order. So you know what special stock indicator controls here? It controls that whenever you do MyGo, the stock is reserved against that particular sales order number, and account assignment category controls that there is no accounting entry document generated because the stock what you manufactured is already reserved to against the sales order. So there is no need to generate any accounting entry document. So here also you will go with KOFK, not COFI. Why? Because you have costing module here. In the requirement class you have CO block. So KOFK is the like GL account in the combination, you go with KOFK. Okay, and how you load this stock? Earlier I was telling, right, how you load this special stock into the SAP system, that is MB1C 561 movement type, but you need to mention the special stock indicator E there. The system will ask for what is the sales order number. When you mention the sales order number, system will put the stock against the sales order number under the on orders hand. If you go to MMBE and check, then you can see this particular stock under the on orders hand, reserved against that particular sales order number. And when you do delivery, system will pull against that sales order number and only that particular stock. Okay, so that's it coming to the make to order. So IPO and make to order, you may not be in position to see that in the system. Why? Because it's an integration between various modules and that all configurations are missing in the system. You may not be seeing. So, but controls are important and for sure you'll be facing the questions. Be perfect with these questions and the control configurations. Okay, let's move on to the next configuration topic, that is business process, STO, stock transport order. Third party, OTC, STO, mandatory functions. Very important, STO. For sure you'll be facing questions on STO, and you cannot say my company doesn't have STO. You cannot say that. Okay. So STO is such an important concept. Okay. So STO, stock transport order, is nothing but, and see, in the real time you will be having one new distribution channel. Okay, one separate distribution channel for STO. See, in the standard what we are doing, we are having a distribution channel for dealer, distributors, institutional or government. In our training scenario we are discussing about this, but you will be having one more distribution channel which is reserved for STO. For STO you will have a separate distribution channel in the real time. Okay, very important. Okay, sometimes they may ask you what is the distribution channel you used for STO, so don't tell among this. Okay, there is a separate distribution channel for STO. Okay, so STO is nothing but transferring the stock from plant to plant, okay, or plant to depot, or depot to depot. It can be anything, but it is within the company, and whatever the stock you are transferring here, it is only between the company to company, not to the customer. There is no customer in the STO process, no end customer in the STO process. Okay, so let's see the process, how it goes. So STO process, here receiving plant itself is a customer. Okay, both the plants belong to the same. See, STO, we have two kinds of STO: intercompany STO, intra-company STO. Intercompany STO means both the plants belong to same company code. Okay, the plants are under same company code. These are called intercompany STO. Intra-company STO means supplying plant and receiving plant belong to two different company codes. Okay, this is intercompany. Intra-company means only one company code. Two supplying and receiving plant belong to single company code. Okay, so whatever we are discussing now, it is intra-company STO. So receiving plant will raise a PO to the supplying plant. Supplying plant will do delivery with reference to the PO. What is the T code? VL 10D or 10B also. And with reference to this particular delivery, then we do MIGO. Then only the stock will be shown it as a actual stock here. Until that, stock will be showing as stock in transit. And unless until specifically mentioned, always STO is a two-step process. Unless until it's mentioned as a specifically one step, it is two-step always. Okay. And the same process here on the one step also, but here we don't do MIGO. Whenever they do delivery at the supplying plant, stock is automatically shown as actual stock at the receiving plant. Okay. So returns also, return PO, everything is fun. See what happens here when we do MIGO, the stock is added here, but in the return, sometimes in interviews also they ask this. Okay, in the return STO, when the stock is actually shown or added into the supplying plant back, when it is done, when we do the return delivery, it is added actually, but not at the return MIGO. Okay, it's okay. So let's see the controls and the configurations. So STO one step and two step process. So I'm not going to this again. Why? Because we already discussed this earlier. Okay. So what stock will be reduced, stock in transit, and these all things. Okay. The moment types also 641 and 647 we already discussed. Okay. These are very important. PO type. Okay. So order types we have OR, inquiry, IN, quotation, QT like this. So PO types also we have different. This is UB. Okay, STO PO type is UB. Intercompany it is NB there. Okay, in IPO also it is NB when you raise a PO. Okay, so this is UB. And delivery type for STO it is NL, and delivery item category for STO is NLN, and delivery item category determination happens like this: NL, norm. We have a usage here which is V, blank, and NLN. Okay, so that's the STO process. The controls of the STO process. Schedule line NN, which has a moment type 641 or 647. So 641 two-step is a standard always, and the accounting entry document is stock inward movement debit to stock outward movement credit. Okay, so before going to the standard STO configuration, we should do some master data configuration. Okay, before going to the STO, we should have some standard master data configuration. That is, we should create receiving plant as a customer in the supplying sales area, and we should assign supplying sales area to the receiving sales area. Little confusion here, but don't confuse, just make be little clear. Okay, so what is the master data configuration we will be doing here is, you need to create the receiving plant as a customer in the supplying sales area. Okay, as I told you, in the real time STO purpose, we will have a separate distribution channel. Okay, in the intercompany, normally the sales area is the same, right? Okay, so yeah, very important interview question they ask when it comes here, that is why we are creating this receiving plant as a customer in the supplying sales area. Why we are creating an STO process like this? Because the reason is to determine the ship to party. You should know, right, to whom we should deliver. If it's a customer, there is a partner function and that is determined, and you know to whom to deliver. But in STO, it's an internal. How you will know that? So to determine the ship to party, we'll create this particular receiving plant as a customer in the supplying sales area. Okay, this is one thing. And second thing is, the material should be available in the both the plants. So the reason you should extend the material to the both the plants with purchasing view. Why? Because we need to raise a PO here. Okay, PO. That's the reason you should extend the material, and that material, this purchasing view should be there. And you know, STO is complete 100% MM process, not SD process. STO is 100% MM process, but SD consultants are responsible to do this. And complete STO process you will be seeing under MM block. You go to SPRO, nothing you will be seeing under STO, SD module. Everything is under MM. So go to the so Meenakshi, Gaurav, Srini, in your project STO is handled by you or someone in others?
In my projects, it's SD consultants only.
SD, right? Yeah, 99%
Customized actually yeah.
Okay, yeah, 99% it's always you don't have okay, Srini. Okay, but 99%, 100% only SD consultants do this, but you will be seeing everything under MM. There is no integration or something with SD. Everything is MM. So you go to the MM block, Material Master, Purchasing, Purchase Order, Purchasing, Purchase Order, Purchasing, Purchase Order, and Setup Stock Transport Order. STO, this is where, okay, so complete you'll be seeing here in the MM itself. So just go to this node, okay, so here you'll be creating, you see, define shipping data for plants. There in this you will be creating supplying plant, receiving plant as a customer in the supplying sales area. The first step, the master data configuration. Okay, material should be extended. Okay, the first step, actual STO. So once after creating this thing, sales area, these all things, master data configuration, the actual STO starts here, and you can see by screen, value by value, I have given in this document completely menu path. You need not open the system also, just by going through this you can read and understand. Okay, so defining the shipping data for plants, this is what the first step we are now. Select your plant. Okay, I'm just going with the standard one, but go to the details. You see here customer number plant. If it is a supplying sales area, you already created receiving as a customer, right? Mention that number here. Customer number, that plant here. Okay. So go to this menu path, everything, and now you are first at the receiving plant. In the receiving plant, you will assign the customer number, assign customer number which we created as a receiving plant, and assign receiving sales area here. Okay, receiving sales area and the customer number. Then next you go to the supplying plant, and there you just mention only the sales area. That's it, you need not mention, but because supplying plant itself is a vendor, like, so you don't have any number there, so just maintain here. So this is the first step, maintaining this customer and sales areas. Okay, so once this is done, come back and you need to define a checking rule and create the checking rules. So first go to the third step, defining checking rules. Okay, assign and design. Let me, yeah, this one, assign. Why? Because see that you create and define in these two steps. You need not do that anyway. Why? Because you are going with standard. So you can directly go with this step, which is define and assign delivery type to the checking rule. Why? Because we have checking rules and everything standard. We don't edit or something in that. Okay. So here select your PO type, which is NB, and this is supplying plant. SPL means supplying plant. So how you will be maintaining this delivery type, the checking rule, that is with the combination of PO type, supplying plant, and delivery type, NL. For this combination, you will be assigning your checking rule, which is B. Okay, STO checking rule is B. Okay, with the combination of PO type, supplying plant and delivery type. Okay, in this configuration what you will be doing, assign this delivery type NL. What we have done is checking rule B to the combination of purchase order type. It's not NUB, it should be NB. Purchase order, standard STO purchase order, it's UB or NB? Yeah, it's UB, sorry. It is UB here. You need to select UB here. In the intercompany, it is NB. This is document is correct. Okay, it's a UB. Okay, with a combination of these two, you see what is my supplying plant ZMUM, and you can see here ZMUM. Okay, with a combination of supplying plant and PO type UB, you will be assigning this checking rule B. Okay, this is the second step. Third step, assign document type one-step procedure under delivery tolerance. This is the third step. Here where you mention well if it is one step or not. You see this check indicator one step. You activate something for the combination of supplying plant, receiving plant and PO type UB. If you activate this particular check indicator, then this STO process become one step, unless until it is a two-step. If you leave it blank, whatever the process you are doing is a two-step process. But if you activate in this particular step, if you activate something, then it becomes a one-step process. This is where you tell the system that this is a one-step process. Okay, and we also have tolerance here. Okay, in STO we know that we don't have over delivery tolerance. Okay, we don't have over delivery tolerance in STO. STO, it is unlimited tolerance. We can increase the quantities to any number. Okay, so if we check this becomes one step. Okay, and MyGo is not required. Why? Because it's a one step. And under delivery tolerance, this one. Okay, in STO process, over delivery concept will not work. Why? Because STO process is relevant for unlimited tolerance. When you have unlimited tolerance, we cannot have over delivery. Why? Because over delivery tolerance restricts at the higher side. Okay, in STO we have only under delivery tolerance. That means you can say that don't send anything less than this, but you cannot restrict saying that send only this number at the higher side. We also discussed this when it comes to the delivery types. Okay, so that's the configuration controls what we have here. But when we have CRM billing also, yeah, this one we will discuss this activate automatic CRM billing later. Okay, so the process, coming to the process, first you need to create a PO, the transaction code ME21N. Okay, ME21N, create a purchase order. Okay, see, there should be a shipping tab determined. Okay, when you go to the condition tab and maintain the amount, if it's not coming automatically, and also check whether the shipping tab is determined or not. Okay, if shipping tab is not determined, then check the configurations. Why? Because if shipping tab, okay, the reason you can also see this, and also an important interview question. What scenario shipping tab will not be determined in STO purchase order? In STO purchase order, the shipping tab will not be determined in some cases actually. So in what cases it will not be determined? Two reasons. One reason might be your STO configuration is not in place. That might be the reason. Or second thing, the shipping point determination is not in place. Okay, either because of the shipping point determination or the STO configuration not in place. That's the reason the shipping tab is not determined. This should be determined for you to go ahead. So check whether the shipping tab has been determined or not. So once you create a PO at the receiving plant, then we do VL10D, that is delivery with reference to the purchase order. So I'm not taking you to the SDO screens. Why? Because everything is maintained here. You'll be seeing the same things. When you go to VL10D and click on execute and something, you'll be seeing a button on the top like background. Click this, and this is a log button. Click on the log. Just follow this exactly the same thing. Okay, VL10D. Okay, Then after you need to raise a pro forma invoice. Why? Because STO process, it's not relevant for billing, right? You are just transporting goods between the plant to plant internally. There is no billing here. But you want a pro forma invoice. Why? Because excise. Okay, excise is the department should know what quantity you are delivering out of the plant and what is the value of the goods. Okay, so in STO process, if you want to create an pro forma invoice, then what you should do, go to the item category VOV7. Okay, and in the item category NLN, make the billing relevance as D. Okay, so you should make the billing relevance to D. In standard also it should be D by default. Okay, so VOV8 default order type DL. Why? Because STO is a process where you do delivery without order reference. Okay, so default order type DL and maintain the document pricing procedure as A. And we have a copy controls here between the VTFL, F8 and NL, default delivery type NL and billing type F8 for pharma invoice. Okay, and copy requirement, you have standard 009, which is for the pro forma invoices. You can create a pro forma invoice with reference to the delivery number. Okay, so once you create a pro forma invoice, then you do the MyGo goods receipt is handled. Okay, so that stock would be added into the plant. Okay, and this after following this, you can check the stock in the MD04 also, it would be updated there. So when you do the PGI in the STO process, you know what is the accounting entry, stock inward movement debit to outward movement credit. Okay, so one step process is something same as I told you, but only the thing changes, you need to activate this. That's it. So some important questions, do we have copy controls in the STO process or PO to deliver something? Yes, we have. That is default order type DL2, delivery type NL. When client requirement is to STO process, they want to create delivery automatically while doing PO. How to do that? So you need to do with the automatic configuration for the automatic delivery, you should activate that. There is nothing but what I'm talking about, the CRM billing, this one. So activate automatic delivery creation and CRM billing. Okay, this is a very important interview question what they ask in interviews. Like in the STO process, they want to create a delivery automatically while PO itself. Okay, so you can do that in the configuration here. You need to activate. So select the combination of your purchase order and supplying plant and select this automatic delivery. If you want to raise the automatic invoice also, select the CRM billing. So these check indicators you activate it, automatic delivery. When you raise a PO, delivery and billing, everything would be happen in the backend automatically. Okay, yeah, and this is one important thing. If you remember in the copy controls when we are discussing VTFL, and I have taken you to the field called price source, and in the price source I told that we have two options, one is A and one is N. A means price should be copied from the purchase order, N means price should be copied from the shipping document, and the shipment document that we will be discussing in LE. I hope you remember that, right? So this is what I'm talking about. That is, in the STO process, if you want while creating a pro forma invoice, the price should be copied from the PO, purchase order. How you will do that? Okay, so for that we have a configuration. So what is the T code for pricing condition types? Anyone? T code for pricing condition types. V/06. Right? V/06 is the T code what we use to access pricing condition types. M/06. M/06 is the T code where you access pricing condition types. Like we have PR00 in SD, PBXX, PB01, PB02 are the price condition types of MM. Price condition types of MM. So what you should do is, you should create the same condition types in the V/06. If I go to V/06, you will not have PBXX there. /n V/06. You go there, V/06. I don't know if I already created, it might be, but I hope I haven't created. Okay, if you search for PBXX, it will not be there here, or PB01. Okay, PB01 or 02. Okay, these condition types, what we are talking about, PBXX and PB01, these all are condition types, price condition type. Okay, now I'm the condition types. If I go PBXX here, you see you have a PBXX here. Okay, gross price. So PBXX is like PR00 for SD. Okay, so what you should do is go to PBXX, go to the details and watch these controls. Okay, condition class is B, calculation type is C, condition category is H, and it is an item condition. These four, and rest everything is blank actually. You see here everything is blank. So create this PBXX in V/06 with the same controls. Okay, write it down somewhere, or you can take it from my document also, I hope. Okay, so what you should do, create same condition types in the sales with the same controls. That means the calculation types, everything should be same. B, C, H, and this item condition to be activated, everything is same. Okay, so activate that. Then after, create a pricing procedure for the STO, like say ZSTO, any, okay, and place this PBXX in that particular pricing procedure and make that as manual. And then after, go to the billing type WOFA F8 and make price source as T. WOFA, let me show you. /n WOFA. It can be T or N also. N is for intercompany. The T is for the intra-company. Very important controls. These all things you should remember. Okay, if I go to F8, it is T and N. We have two options. Where it is? Document pricing procedure, right? Document. WOFA, right? Document. Okay, this one, document pricing procedure. Okay, so maintain it as T. Let me show you what is T. F4. So T is transfer STO. We also have N. N is also stock transfer, but this is intercompany sales and billing. N and T. But for STO, standard intercompany STO, we use only T. So we'll also see this N later when it comes to the intercompany sales and billing. Okay, maintain it as T. Okay, that's it. Go to the OVKK pricing procedure determination, and for this combination, for this procedure, assign your pricing condition type PBXX, and NL to F8 price source VTFL maintain as A. A means take the price to this particular invoice from PO, price source from M. Okay, so this is how you can copy the price from PO to pro forma invoice. So that's it. STO process, very important process, very important controls. Okay, so you should do one round of configuration in system, and you should know all these controls. Okay, don't ignore something like, say, if I say OFA F8T, okay, don't ignore. Go to OFA, see this what it is. Go to PBXX, see it what it is, what the controls we have there. Okay, see all the controls. For sure in the interviews they ask only these controls, and this is what you should know. rest everything is in the system, right? Okay, and STO is complete of but as I told you, SD should handle it. Okay, so we'll call it a day today. Why? Because it's a lot we discussed today. It will take days for you to look into this all things. So tomorrow we'll see return STO, and later we'll go to the intercompany STO. Okay, STO return process, then after intercompany STO. Okay, so hardly 2 days we will finish all the SD concepts, the SD billing, SD complete, or next 2 days we'll finish everything. Okay, so any questions for today? STO is very important. IPO, MTO you may ignore, but don't ignore STO. For sure, you will be getting interview questions on STO, and in the project also, STO for sure you'll be having. Okay, any questions? Okay, hope so. No questions. We'll call it a day today and catch back tomorrow, and we'll look into the intercompany process. Most probably tomorrow itself we may finish. We'll continue the session until 9:30 tomorrow, and we'll try to finish it tomorrow itself. If not, in case later. Meenakshi was asking something. Will you be giving through the rise up? Yeah, sure. We'll have that. We'll have a rise up session, and we'll have all the sessions later. Okay. So see, we'll do one thing until 15th. Until this month 15th, we'll try to continue. Not 15th. Yeah, until 16th, we'll try to continue in the regular session itself. After 16th, if anything is still pending, then we'll go with the weekends. Okay, but until 16 we will go with the regular sessions itself, and I'll share remaining documents from tomorrow. Okay, so from tomorrow, RISEF, LE and SIN, what all we'll be discussing, that is a separate document actually. I'll share that document and we'll looking into that document from tomorrow. Okay, so have a good day everyone, and we'll catch back tomorrow. Bye bye.